Welcome to Abby's Storytelling. Please share and subscribe. Tell us where you are watching from. The story begins. The velvet-lined pews of Grace Baptist Church were Marcia's stage, and Sunday morning was her opening night. Clad in a pristine pastel suit, her hair coiffed into a perfect, unmoving halo, she was the picture of godly devotion. She sang the loudest, nodded the most fervently during the sermon, and always offered a sympathetic, hand-squeezed, "I'm praying for you" to anyone in need. But the moment Marcia buckled her 6-year-old son, Toby, into the back seat of her SUV, the halo came off. "All right, Toby Bear," Marcia said, adjusting her rearview mirror so she could lock eyes with her son. "What did we notice about Mrs. Gable today?" Toby, an observant boy with wide, mimic-ready eyes, kicked his legs against the seat. "She was crying during the opening hymn?" "And why do we think she was crying?" Marcia prompted, her voice dripping with artificial sweetness. "Because her husband didn't come to church again," Toby chirped, proud to know the answer. "Exactly," Marcia purred, steering the car out of the parking lot. "And that's because he's seeing that woman who works at the pharmacy. It's a tragedy, really. But remember what Mommy taught you. We notice these things so we can pray for them." "Who else did we see?" "Mr. Henderson. He had a stain on his tie and his breath smelled like the funny juice Daddy drinks on weekends." "Good boy," Marcia smiled, feeling a twisted sense of pride. To Marcia, gossip wasn't a sin, it was currency. And she was training her son to be a master banker. She taught him how to linger by the pastor's office, how to read facial expressions, and how to piece together the town's dirty laundry under the guise of Christian concern. The following month, Grace Baptist hosted its annual fellowship gala. It was a formal, high-stakes event where the church's elite gathered to mingle with the regional bishop. Marcia had spent weeks preparing, aiming to secure her husband a spot on the deacon board. She stood in the center of the fellowship hall, holding a glass of sparkling cider, holding court with the pastor's wife and 3 influential church elders. She was in peak form, nodding gracefully, speaking in hushed, pious tones about the church's upcoming charity drive. Toby was playing near the buffet table with the other children. Marcia watched him out of the corner of her eye, pleased to see the bishop walk over to the kids to distribute silver Sunday school medals. The bishop, a towering man with a booming, grandfatherly voice, patted Toby on the head. "And what is your name, young man?" "Toby," the boy beamed. "Well, Toby, your mother is a pillar of our congregation," the bishop said loudly, his voice carrying across the suddenly quiet room. "You must learn so much from her about loving your neighbor," her heart swelling with pride. She caught the eye of the pastor's wife and gave a modest, humble shrug. "Oh, I do," Toby announced proudly, his 6-year-old voice echoing off the high ceilings. "Mommy teaches me how to watch everyone really closely." The bishop smiled warmly. "Does she now? To see the good in them?" "No," Toby said innocently, his face bright with the joy of a child who knew he had the right answer. "She teaches me how to find their secrets so we can talk about them in the car." A sudden, suffocating silence fell over the fellowship hall. The clinking of silverware stopped. Marcia's smile froze, her face draining of all color. "Toby, sweetie," she choked out, her voice cracking. "Go play with. Like Mrs. Gable." Toby continued enthusiastically, thrilled to have the whole room's attention, just like his mommy always did. "Mommy says we have to pray for her because her husband is sleeping with the pharmacy lady. And Mr. Henderson is a secret drunk because he smells like Daddy's weekend juice." Gasps rippled through the room. Mrs. Gable burst into tears and rushed toward the exit. Mr. Henderson's face turned a violent shade of purple. The bishop's warm smile vanished, replaced by a look of profound, thunderous disappointment. The pastor's wife stepped away from Marcia as if she were contagious. Marcia stood entirely alone in the center of the room, the heavy weight of dozens of staring eyes pressing down on her. The carefully constructed glass castle of her reputation hadn't just cracked, it had shattered into dust. She had spent years teaching her son exactly how to weaponize the truth. She just never expected him to fire it at her. Moral lesson: he who digs a pit for others will fall into it himself, and he who nurtures a poison within his own home should not be surprised when his children serve it at his own table.